Balderdash Academy, competitive comedy. Good for your health like a yearly colonoscopy. Bring a flask, don't forget your hall pass. If you need a laugh, let me introduce the school staff. Marie Stewart Harmon teaches home economics. See her after class for some home brewed tonics. Sex with me is like Nate Green, cause finishing on top is his normal routine. Coach Steve brings the show's sports knowledge, but he's bad at portmanteaus cause he didn't go to college. Molly McGill spits words like an Uzi. She wins every game but can't name a single movie. They call him Brady Hunt, the theater guru. He'll always almost win like deja vu do. Carla Rose Dubois, you better watch your back. She's notoriously known for teaching music facts. And Baba Blanc gets no disrespect. Don't talk back, cause he's technically correct. Yes, let's go. Balderdash Academy, baby. Alright, sit down, class is starting.
Hello and welcome to Balderdash Academy. Champ, how are you feeling today?
I am feeling ready to get back in this game, season 2, ready to do this. We got a great guest, you guys. I couldn't have done it without beating you.
Yes, okay.
Thanks.
Do you have anything to say to your competitors?
Buckle up, giddy up. Let's get down.
Yeehaw.
Now, our visiting professor today is Renee S. DeCamillis. Renee is a horror author and editor, musician and singer, and a tree-hugging hippie with a sharp metal edge. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why are we having a horror author on in September rather than for Halloween? Well, because in Balderdash County, Halloween season lasts from August to Thanksgiving. You don't want to miss this one. So, speaking of Halloween, our official pumpkin carving contest is also back. So, whip out your gourds and show us your pumpkins. To enter, just post a picture of your jack-o'-lanterns on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Tag us in the post and use the hashtag #PumpkinJackOff. The winner will be featured on our show and will receive a special item from our store. Now, Renee has agreed to be the scorekeeper tonight while our faculty members compete for the coveted reigning champion banner. They will perform a series of comedy challenges, and at the end of each challenge, Renee will assign points to a competitor she feels is most worthy. She's not looking for the correct answer, likely not going to find it, but she's looking for the best answer. The points are arbitrary and can be given to anyone at any time for any reason. At the end of the show, the faculty member with the highest point total will be named the reigning champion. Our first game tonight is called Give Me the Details. Now, I will reveal an interesting bit of trivia, and each of our faculty will fill us in with a little-known bit of extra information about the story. Our visiting professor will give points for the answer that she likes best. Now, UFOs or UAPs have been in the news lately with the declassification of secret documents. In 2020, the government admitted they have no idea what the phenomena actually are. 2020 was a big year outside of just the pandemic. Now, some sightings only go unidentified for a short time, and this is one example. Now, this happened in July, where viewers of an ISS, that's International Space Station, live feed saw strange geometric lights floating by outside the window of the space station. And it was classified as unidentified for a very short period of time before the real source of the lights were revealed. Now, our faculty know what the real source of these lights are. And to start us off with the correct answer, we have Carla Rose Dubois. Carla Rose,
Yes.
What was the actual source of these lights?
Well, look, I am, speaking of tree-hugging hippies, peace man. I'm a hippie myself. And I happen to know this little piece of hippie trivia. In the 1970s, a group of hippies decided to launch a celestial discotheque. And it was not publicized and it was never heard from again. And as far as I know, that party's still going up there in outer space. And I have a feeling that's what it is, an outer space discotheque. And I want to go.
All right. Outer space disco. They're desperately trying to stay alive. Marie, what's your answer?
Yes, of course. Well, I don't know all of the scientific terms that would probably be necessary here when describing gravity and aviation and space stuff. However, I do know that on spaceships, there is a room that all of the astronauts go into fart to relieve themselves, and that room just gets like packed full of gas, like actual gas. And then there's somebody's job to release this gas out into the astrosphere place where the spaceship is. And when the chemicals of the gas combined with outer space, it created a light show.
Yeah.
All right. So release of the space flatatorium. Nate, what do you have?
First, I'd like to make it clear that the students, I have 3 students in detention. They're staying late and they're washing the beakers and Bunsen burners. And make sure you keep the flames on, guys. Yeah. Nope. You guys earned it.
Such a good teacher.
So that's the background noise. But what I wanted to let you know is the real reason behind this. Marie was onto it. She was super close. But, I'd give you some props there because as a health and wellness person, flatulence comes naturally to you. But it's actually urine. Yeah. So in the early space programs, they would just release their urine out into space. And that has nowhere else to go. They're in an orbit around Earth. The urine's not going to escape the orbit, so it's going to stay there. And fun fact: when urine gets in space, it forms into geometric shapes. They're like tangrams. It's really fun to play with. Exposed to the natural radiation of the sun, they can absorb it like solar panels. Tesla is really big into using this, and they give off like a bioluminescent design. So it's
cool.
Really just with little lasers that the astronauts can use in the space station. They can move the tangrams around and make little pictures. It's beautiful and gross.
Like Tesla says, you're in the money. Molly, what's your answer?
Oh, wow. Those are all great answers. However, the real answer, it's been expunged from his record because he was a minor. God rest his soul at the time. But it was actually little Timmy McGraw, who was playing with one of those light laser pens that you can get, that like maybe TED Talk people use. And if they really want something to be shown, they say, look at the green light. And if they're not looking at the green light, they can twist the cap and then it goes pew, 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 and you have all the space colors out there. So he was just a little old Timmy McGraw playing with one of these laser pens, did not understand the power that those have. His parents told him, don't shine it in your eyes. Don't shine it in your eyes. And he was like, fine, I'll shine it in the sky. Little did he know, the International Space Station's right above him. Pew, 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 pew. It's going past them. They're freaking out. All hell breaks loose.
Good answer. Good answer. And that's right, Alan. Did Lassie help Timmy in this situation? Who knows? So, Renee, we have Carla Rose where hippie launched disco in space. Marie with the release of the space flatatorium out of the astrosphere.
Yeah. Stinky.
Nate, you're in the money with geometric urine, and Molly with little Timmy McGraw with a laser pointer. How would you like to score?
Dr. Phil's son.
Well, I have a 6-year-old son. So, Marie, your answer is right up there. I'm going to have to go with me. How about 100 points for Marie?
Woo! Bang, bang. You go,
astronomical.
All right.
Thank you.
Who said farts don't get you anywhere?
All right, good answer. Now, I have a question for the audience. What do you think the answer is? Let us know and check back after 4 questions to find out. I know, teaser. So our visiting professor is Renee S. DeCamillis. She is the author of the psychological thriller, supernatural horror novella, The Bone Cutters. It's published through Erasers Press. The links are in the description. I've read it. You should too. The sequel to The Bone Cutters is in the works with a publication date to be announced. Now, Renee's short fiction appears in the Wicked Women anthology of New England horror writers from NEHW Press, Northern Frights, the Journal of Horror Writers of Maine, issue 2.5. Lost, Dead Man's Tome, The Conspiracy issue, Siren's Call, E-Zine, issue 37, The Other Stories podcast. Her poetry appears in the Horror Writers Association Poetry Showcase, Volume 4. She has her first comic book forthcoming through Fee 3 Comics with a publication date to be announced. She is an active member of the Horror Writers Association. And fun fact, she's also a former gravedigger and knows how to get rid of a body fast without leaving a trace. And she's not afraid of getting her hands dirty. So
not when you're digging
be kind to her. Now, Renee lives in the woods of Maine with her husband, their son, and a house full of ghosts. Renee, welcome to Balderdash Academy.
Yay!
Now, of all of that, and we're going to touch on your writing, we're going to touch on your craft, but grave digging, I need to know about. You got to fill us in. What was up with the grave digging? How did you get into it? How did you find it? What did you do when you were there? Tell us about it.
Well, I dug graves while I was there.
So it is as advertised.
Makes sense.
Well, I was going to grad school at the time, and my a good friend of mine was the superintendent of the cemetery, and I was giving him guitar lessons at the time, and I needed to get out of my shit job that I was in, and he needed help, and I'm like, hey, can you work around my schedule? Yep, all right, I'm in. I like being outside, so
the dead can wait.
And I don't play well with others always, and everyone there was really easy to get along with.
Nice.
Now, I have a question about your grave digging. Do you feel like your natural enemy would be somebody like Indiana Jones, who actually digs looking for stuff?
Yeah.
I never really thought about it.
Just wondering, like, who is your nemesis? Would it be Indiana Jones?
Well, I would think it would be somebody who fills the grave back in.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true.
It's the backhoe.
Yeah, I mean, reality, the nemesis of a gravedigger is gravity.
Yeah.
Or eternal life.
Ooh.
Good answer.
You know, yeah.
Good answer.
That is a good
Now, how
answer.
much did you learn anything on the job that helped inform your horror writing later on? Or at least was it the atmosphere?
The atmosphere, yeah, and I have a lot of ideas stirring around, and actually, the sequel to my book features the graveyard I worked in.
Ooh,
Oh.
cool.
Oh, very cool.
I mean, it's not named after the real graveyard, of course, but yeah, it's in there.
You have
So yeah, I got a lot of inspiration from working there.
You have done so many things over the course of your career, psychology, playing the guitar, all these things. Have you has horror always been in the background of your being and who you are? Were you interested in a young, or is it a newfound thing?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was pretty obsessed with horror movies. You know, all the horror movies of the 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
So, I was pretty hooked with that. And then, for literary, I started reading Poe, Lovecraft, King. Done deal.
Yeah. Favorite horror movie? Do you have a favorite? Can you name one?
Favorite? Well, I can't pick a favorite.
One that
but
stuck
I'll
with
say,
you.
like, the first horror movie that ever really scared the crap out of me and gave me nightmares is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Ooh, gruesome.
Yeah.
Good answer. So we will talk more about Renee's writing when we return. Join us for more Balderdash Academy and the answer to Give Me the Details after 4 questions. We'll be right back.
Could be gas.
Could be gas. Remember to like and subscribe to the video. Also, remember that we have options available if you'd like to support the show directly. You can also show your school pride with merch from our store. And we are also booking live shows, improv comedy, and team building throughout New England. So you can now have our faculty entertain you at your location or your next corporate event, your restaurant, wherever you need entertainment. Links to everything are in the description. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.
Bob, do we do grave digging?
We do grave digging.
We do?
We do.
We can do improv during a grave digging session? Okay.
Well, grave digging, funerals, wherever anybody needs a little pick-me-up, you know? Yeah.
We put the fun in funeral.
Yeah.
Really
In the mortuary, we actually will use prompts from the actual cadavers and just go based on the noises they make.
I thought you were going to say props.
Well, there is a game that we play called Weekend at Bernie's, and occasionally we need assistant props.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Have a good night, folks. Go Dashers!